My name is Makena Moragne, and my presentation is on the book Another Country by James Baldwin, pages 1 through 145. James Baldwin was born on August 2nd, 1924, in Harlem, New York. He died December 1st, 1987, in France at the age of 63. As the oldest of 9 children, Baldwin started working part-time to help support his family. James's interest in books and plays frequently got him into arguments with his stepfather, but his teachers could tell that he had a bright mind and recommended that he start visiting a public library on 135th Street in Harlem. This library became his sanctuary that he would always be thankful for. Throughout his schooling, he would meet many influential people, like Bill Miller, a white teacher who took Baldwin to see a play that would inspire his dream to be a playwright, or Count Colin, a renowned poet and literary advisor who inspired his dream to live in France. Unfortunately, James Baldwin had to leave school in 1941 so he could support his family through work. In his early career, Baldwin could not support his family with his writing, so he bounced through many menial jobs. Finally, Baldwin reconnected with Buford Delaney, who he had met in school the year before he left. The two became lifelong friends, and Buford showed him that it was possible to make a living in art. James Baldwin then left Harlem to move to Greenwich Village, where he would network with publishers, reconnect with old high school classmates, and make many more lifelong friends and connections in the New York literary establishment. After facing so much discrimination in the United States, James Baldwin decided to fulfill his dream of living in France, in hopes that he would be more free to explore his racial and sexual identity in his writing. In an ABC interview with Sylvia Chase, Baldwin explained that he moved to Paris in order to find out where being Black ended and where he began. In 1962, Baldwin wrote Another Country, where he explored racial tension with eloquence and unprecedented honesty. By dealing with topics such as homosexuality and interracial marriage that were taboo at the time. During the Civil Rights Movement, Baldwin returned to the United States and became a known spokesperson for the movement, and became friends with Malcolm X and Martin Luther King Jr. James later became a spokesperson for the gay rights movement as well, before moving back to France. Baldwin settled in the south of France in a town called Saint-Paul-de-Vence. He continued to write until his death from stomach cancer in 1987. While I read Another Country by James Baldwin, one of the scenes that most stood out to me was the first Sunday morning outing of Rufus, Leona, and Vivaldo. This scene was interesting because once they are out in public, Rufus realizes that he must examine his relationship that is not even 24 hours old because of all the ways that this new interracial relationship would affect both how he is seen by strangers as well as his closest ties with family. This ultimatum of deciding which relationships are more important is extremely unfair, and continues the theme of Rufus recognizing signs that he should not continue to see Leona. My 3 discussion questions for Another Country are: how does Ida's race-conscious outlook affect her relationship with Rufus and Vivaldo? The second is, how is Rufus's love for music shown in the narration of the book? And third, how did Rufus's negative experiences in the South affect how he interacts with white people and/or the police? And finally, here's the sources that I used for this presentation.